Oh.
So glad you're first.
Yeah.
All right, if you can raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Joseph Barry,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Board of Education
of
trustee
Board of Education trustee
of the South Country Central School District
of the South Country Central School District
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Okay.
I need you to just sign.
Oh,
So this is your first. Thank you so much.
dismissed.
And you're good.
Well done, John.
Okay, so next is Raphael Flippin.
Sir?
Repeat after me, and I state your name.
I, Raphael Flippin,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Board of Education trustee
of Board of Education trustee
of the South Country Central School
of
District
the South Country Central School District
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Next, we have Ian Hayes. Raise your hand, repeat after me. I, and say your name.
I, Ian Hayes,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and the
States
Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Board of Education trustee
of Board of Education trustee
of the South Country Central School District
of the South Country Central School District
according to the best of my
according
ability.
to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now we have Tara Kavanaugh. Repeat after me. I, and state your name.
I, Tara Kavanaugh,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the
of
duties
Board of Education trustee
of Board of Education trustee
of the South Country Central School
of
District
the South Country Central School District
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
And at this time, I will administer the oath of faithful performance of Office of the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Joseph Gianni. I state your name.
I, Joseph Gianni,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the
of
duties
Superintendent of Schools
of Superintendent of Schools
of the South Country Central School District
of the South Country Central School District
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Letters to Thank you. So at this time, I would like to call for nominations for the office of the President of the Board of Education. I have a nomination.
I would like to make a nomination for Chris Puccini to serve as president of the Board of Education.
Okay. Are there any other nominations for office of president?
I'd like to nominate Ann Hayes as president.
Any other nominations for president?
I would like to nominate Sheriff Felice as president.
Are there any other nominations for president? No. There being none,
Excuse-
yes.
I would respectfully decline the nomination,
Okay,
and I had a statement that I'd like to make.
yes.
I thank you for the nomination, but I decline to accept it. It's been my privilege to serve as president of the board for the last 3 years, during which I've worked to create consensus among board members. I recognize that the strongest board is one where all members come together to rationally and responsibly discuss issues and to support a board decision and respect the decision of the board as a whole, even when we individually did not agree with the board's decision. I'm proud of our successes in acting consistently during the worst times of the COVID pandemic and engaging in a collaborative process for hiring a new superintendent. I look forward to continuing to work with other board members by applying my experiences and knowledge to the benefit of everyone we serve, with our children at the forefront of that. I've reached the conclusion that the best use of my gifts of service in the upcoming year will be not to serve as board president.
Thank you. Okay, so the nominations for the office of Board of Education are closed. I'll poll the board individually for each nominee. Since Chris was nominated first, we'll start with him. I'll go up to each person, and you're going to tell me yes or no for Chris Puccini. So please indicate yes or no for your vote for board presidential nominee Chris Puccini. I will start with Raphael Flippen.
No.
Ann Hayes?
No. Oh, I'm sorry. This is for Chris Puccini?
Yes.
I'm voting yes.
Joseph Barry?
I'll vote yes.
Karen Trent?
No.
Cheryl Felice?
No.
Tara Kavanaugh?
No.
And Chris Puccini?
Yes.
Okay. Please indicate yes or no for your vote for board presidential nominee Cheryl Felice. I'll start with Mr. Flippen.
Yes.
Chris Puccini?
No.
Ann Hayes? For Cheryl Felice.
No.
Joseph
Wait,
Barry.
can I? I'm sorry. I'm afraid I'm a bit lost here.
Okay.
Did we not get 4 votes in favor of anybody on the first round?
No.
Three.
No 4 votes.
No.
So going into the second round,
Yes.
Cheryl. I'm voting no.
Okay, and Mr. Barry?
I'll vote no.
Mr. Trent?
Yes.
Tara Kavanaugh?
Yes.
And Cheryl Felice.
Yes.
So I have Cheryl Felice as yes, Raphael Flippen as yes. I have Tara Kavanaugh as yes, and Cameron Trent as yes.
Yes.
So that's 4 yeses for Cheryl Felice. So, okay, so the vote passes that Cheryl Felice is board president. From this point on, the board president will be Cheryl Felice for the 2022-2023 school year. Congratulations. I'll administer the oath of office to you, and then you're going to take over the meeting. Okay?
I, Cheryl Felice,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and the
States
Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Board of Education President
of Board of Education President
of the South Country Central School District
of the South Country Central School District,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to switch around and move seats. I'm going to leave this here because I still have to swear people in, but I think that will sort of like you can follow.
Okay. You know what, I'll get this computer at the end of the meeting.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
This one?
Yeah. You have a script? Yes. That's roll call.
Yes. Yes, it's right.
Melissa, you're still on the list here as a trustee. We're just correcting that.
On this side.
I see that. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. And I appreciate, before we begin with the, going on to the vote of the Vice President, I just want to say to all the Board of Trustees, I know this is a difficult year, I know this was a difficult time, and I appreciate your thoughtfulness and promise that as I have said to each and every one of you, I will work with everyone on this board so that we can create the strongest board that this district has ever seen. And I give you my full commitment to do just that. Thank you. So now we take the vote for Vice President. And we have, are there any nominations for the Vice President, for the office of Vice President for the Board of Education in South Country? Are there any nominations?
I would nominate Ann Hayes as Vice President.
Okay. Are there any other nominations?
Nominate Cameron Trent.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Seeing none. We have a vote for Ann Hayes. And we will begin the vote for Ann Hayes. Is everyone prepared for the vote? So we'll start with Mr. Barry.
I'll vote yes.
Trustee Flippin?
No.
Trustee Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Trustee Pacini?
Yes.
Trustee Trent?
No.
Trustee Hayes?
Yes.
And Trustee Felice, myself, is an abstention. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there are 4 votes. As I counted, does the clerk confirm?
Yes.
4 votes in favor of Trustee Hayes, and therefore no need to take the second vote for Trustee Trent. And Ms. Hayes is declared the Vice President of the Board. Congratulations.
Thank you. I look forward to working with you as president.
Absolutely.
Okay. I, Ann Hayes,
I, Ann Hayes,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Board of Education Vice President
of Board of Education Vice President
of the South Country Central School District
of the South Country Central School District
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'll just write your name.
I think so. Oh, I have to know.
Yeah.
I was gonna
I
squeeze
tried to
down
help a
here.
little bit, but I didn't want to touch your.
Let's see, this
Can I
was
help you with
mine,
that?
right? I'm behind you. Okay. Sort of. Behind you. Can you stretch that some? Thank you. Oh, thank you very much.
Okay. Just let me know when you're set.
I'm all set.
You all set? So from this point on, the school board vice president will be Ann Hayes for the 2022, 2023 school year. Ms. Flynn has already administered the oath, and now we need to call for the nomination of offices for district clerk and all of the items listed in agenda item 5, A through D. That would be district clerk, Christine Flynn, district clerk pro tem, Sarah Caffoletti, district treasurer, Christine Johnson, And the deputy district treasurer is to be determined. Okay. So we need a motion and a second to appoint those 3 individuals and to leave the deputy district clerk, deputy district treasurer to be determined at a later date. So do we have a motion and a second?
I'll make
Motion
the
by
motion.
trustee Trent, second. Trustee
Second.
Barry. Any other discussion? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of the appointments as stated, please raise your hand. Seeing all hands raised, the motion passes unanimously. And now we call upon the district clerk to administer the oath, and I believe that's with council. Yes.
I state your name.
I, Christine Flynn,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of District Clerk
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of District Clerk
of the South Country Central School District.
of the South Country Central School District. Sure, no problem, thank you. And we're going to call Sarah Ciaffolletti up. Raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I,
Please repeat.
Sarah Ciaffolletti,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of District Clerk Pro Tem
of District Clerk Pro Tem
of the South Country Central School District
of the South Country Central School District
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you.
Repeat after me.
I, Christine Johnson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the
of
duties
District Treasurer
of District Treasurer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We don't have a Deputy District Treasurer at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we're up to item number 6, appointment for other district positions. We have the purchasing agents. Hold on, let me just get through. There are A through O. Were there any other changes? Everything is there, Dr. Gianni?
Yes.
All right, do the board members wish me to read each one of the names that we are appointing now? Do you see the agenda so you can see all the names? Okay, as long as you can see them. All right. Do you have a question? Sure.
You can-
You had your hand up first.
2 of them are to be determined. Are we gonna?
Yes, they are generally held by the business official.
Okay.
And my question has to do with the audit committee appointments, if that needs to be by separate resolution, or can it be included?
That's a great, that's the last item.
Last item, we do it separately.
Why would it be separate? Unless somebody wanted it to be specifically, that's,
Well,
is that the question, or is the question should be separate?
No, I'm asking if it needs to be separate because it's, a mandated
Oh.
position.
Not unless there's any specific discussion at the board.
But I think the point is well taken, and actually, with respect to my name being on the committee, at this point, I would like to withdraw my name from that committee and give an opportunity to some of our new board members to sit on that committee. As president and being ex officio, I will attend those meetings, but I don't think I should be the one to actually be on the committee. So your point is well taken, and I think we should hold that one out as a separate vote. So we'll be voting on A through N. And to the point that trustee Trent raised, there are some positions that are being determined, to be determined until we have a new business manager, assistant superintendent of business and finance. So the records management officer and item number I is to be determined. And what were the other ones? Does anybody have them offhand?
K.
And
Item K.
K. The Suffolk School Employee Health Plan Management Trustee. And that's typically the assistant superintendent of?
Yes, particularly
Okay.
that.
Okay. So those two items will be determined, but we are voting on the fact that they will be to determined. Okay? So for item number 6, A through,
I'm sorry, I have
A
a question
through
on that last
Sure.
comment. You shouldn't be voting on them at all, if there's not a name on it, unless it's right.
You're really.
We're gonna
just
have,
voting-
it doesn't matter if we vote on, my point is, we're gonna have to re-vote when there's a name.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to make
Yes,
sure.
yes.
Thank you.
and I think what the vote is affirming is that we don't have it at this point. So we need a motion and a second
I'll make the
for
motion.
items, motion by trustee Trent for
I'll
item
second.
6A and seconded by trustee Kavanaugh. And we are voting on items A through O. A through N. A through N. I stand correct. Is there any discussion? Motion and a second. Okay, seeing no discussion. Are you ready for the vote? All those in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you, please put them down. And are there any in opposition? No, as it was unanimous. Okay. Now we have item O, the Audit Committee appointment. Be it resolved, the Board of Education hereby appoints, and at present, it's E. Ann Hayes, Chris Puccini, Cheryl Felice, Paula Ludlow, and Christine LaScala to serve on the 2022-2023 District Audit Committee to perform the duties required by law, as such duties may be required by the Commissioner of Education pursuant to the regulations. Any board member who is not a member of the Audit Committee shall be permitted to attend any and all Audit Committee meetings, including the executive session of the Audit Committee, as ex officio members of the Audit Committee. However, any vote taken at the Audit Committee shall not constitute official board action and shall be advisory. So having stated that I would like to withdraw my name from that committee, are there any other willing trustees who would like to be considered for that position?
I'll put my name forth.
Okay, trustee Barry? Trustee Barry would like to be one of the 3 board members considered for the position. Is there any other consideration?
I would like to be considered.
You would like to be considered, okay? Now, I'm going to appeal to council as to the fact that we have 2 names moving forward.
In terms of the membership of the audit committee.
Is that a determination of the board or the board president, or is there a vote?
So in terms of the composition of the audit committee, we'll review your policy. I think it's a subsection of the,
I think it can be the entire board
or a portion
or a
thereof.
portion thereof.
I just want to see if you have.
But it can't be 4 because then those meetings constitute
Right,
a formal meeting which would violate open meeting law.
right. Let's see here.
So I'm just assuming that, I thought that we were all, like, I didn't know we were keeping the same 2 trustees that are already on there. I thought that we were just kind of starting afresh. But if Mr. Puccini and Ms. Hayes want to be on the committee, and so does Mr. Barry, I'll withdraw my name.
Okay.
I thought we were, starting fresh.
Mr. Puccini and Ms. Hayes, you still want to remain on the committee?
I would like to remain on this one.
And Mr. Puccini?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So yes, so there's your answer.
with that being said, I will withdraw my name.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
understand, all board trustees can attend these meetings.
Mhm.
And should, they're very, very informative. Okay? Trustee Barry,
Sounds good.
your name has been duly recognized by the district clerk?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so then we will not have
You
time
gotta
to.
amend the motion.
Right, so you'll just have to amend the resolution.
Right. So the resolution now will include the names of, I'll just pick it up from where the Board of Education hereby appoints. You won't see that in your document, but the clerk has
It will
it.
show on the screen.
It'll show on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So hereby appoints E. Ann Hayes, Chris Piccini, and Joseph, do you have the middle initial that you use?
L.
Joseph L. Barry, Paula Ludlow, and Christine Lascala to serve on the 2022-2023 District Audit Committee, and the remainder of the resolution remains the same. So Christine is going to,
I have to vote first.
we have to vote first, yes. All right, very good, okay. Are there any other discussions on the appointment of the Audit Committee? Seeing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand.
Do we have a motion and a second? We need a
Did I
motion.
ask, I didn't ask for the motion in a second? No, because we have the new person. I'm sorry. Motion and a second for the new committee.
So moved.
Okay, trustee Kavanaugh, seconded?
I'll second.
Can I have a second? And trustee Trent makes a second. All right, we have a motion and a second, and the names are stated. So all those in favor of the resolution as read, please raise your hands. Thank you. Seeing all hands raised, the motion passes unanimously.
It's up there.
And it's up there. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Next, we have the appointment of the school physician and the chief medical officers for concussion management. They are listed in your agenda. And we are reappointing school physician Dr. Anthony Donatelli. And for the concussion management, Dr. Queller, Dr. Hara, and Dr. Di Gregorio. So that is a consent motion, 7A and B. So for it, and then it constitutes item 7C to appoint both at the same time. Is there a motion and a second to appoint the school physician and the concussion management? Need a motion? Motion by trustee Hayes, Vice President Hayes, seconded by trustee Trent. Any discussion?
I have a question.
Question?
Is the concussion management officers, is that new? Because I don't remember.
No, that's not new. It's a group of doctors out of Stony Brook that deal with concussion. We're basically all districts.
Mhm.
East
Oh.
Any other discussion?
Hmm?
Any other discussion? Okay. All right. All those in favor of item 7C, raise your hands. Thank you. Seeing all hands raised, the motion passes unanimously. All right. Appointments related to special education, items A and B, and consent item C. We need a motion and a second, please. Motion for 8C. Motion.
I make a motion.
Motion by trustee Trent, second.
I'll second.
Seconded by trustee Barry. Any discussion? All those in favor of motion 8C, please raise your hands. Thank you. Seeing all hands raised, the motion passes unanimously. Now we have the appointment of legal counsel, auditors, insurance, and financial institutions. This is items A through N. I think there's one in here that was also to be determined, was there not? No. No, not this one,
This is
okay.
A through M.
What is it?
A through M.
A through M.
And they are,
Okay. Question?
No, I was just pointing out that there is somebody in everyone.
Okay, thank you. All right, so items A through M, we need a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by trustee Barry, seconded by trustee Kavanaugh. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you. Please put them down. Seeing all hands raised. I did see all hands raised, correct? Because I was looking the other way. Okay. The motion passes unanimously. bonding of employees, the surety bonds. This is a resolution resolved for the 2022-2023 school year that a bond of $4 million be approved, which provides dishonesty coverage for any employee required by law to be individually bonded, as well as volunteer workers. We need a motion and a second. Motion by trustee Trent, seconded by, anybody, it's up for grabs. Trustee Kavanaugh. Is there any discussion? Does the superintendent have anything to comment on this? This is standard
I do
pro
not.
forma. Thank you. Okay. All right, seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of item 10A, please raise your hands. Thank you, please put your hands down. Seeing all hands raised, the motion passes unanimously. Designation 4, bank accounts, official district newspapers, secondary official newspapers, standard workday reporting, and therefore the consent item of all 4 named. So this is item A through D, and it's represented in designation 11E. We have a motion and a second. Need a motion and a second to approve.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Tara, seconded by
I'll second.
trustee Barry. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you, please put them down. And seeing all hands raised, the motion passes unanimously. Okay. We're up to item number 12, and this is more authorizations. So this is for petty cash, mileage reimbursement, authorization for grant application, budget transfers, administrator faculty attendance at conferences, best value purchasing, board member of IHO selection, payroll certification, district-owned cell phones, credit card users. And it would be represented in item 12K for the consent. I had a few questions for 2 items in this particular area. So in item 12C for the superintendent, where it says authorization for grant application, it states the Dr. Gianni's name specifically, where the other authorization states superintendent. Should this one also state superintendent and not be specific to the current superintendent?
Yeah, unless you will be doing it again. So you can simply take my name out of that.
So we should change it
Just
to
amend it by,
superintendent?
yeah, just resolve the superintendent of schools.
Okay. And then secondly, okay, so that's that one. And then 12I, cell phones for district employees. There's no cell phone listed for the new superintendent. I'm assuming he's getting one, but is that
It's
contractual?
in his contract.
Okay, that was my question. Okay. So there's no need for amendment on 12I, but there is need for an amendment on 12C. And I will just go back to that for the purposes of the resolution. And it says, whereas the nature of the state, federal, and county grant application require approval of the Board of Education, and whereas the timeliness of the information and deadline requirements are not necessarily coordinated with the meetings of the Board of Education, now therefore be it resolved. In this case, it said Dr. Joseph Gianni. Now we're just going to say the superintendent of schools will strike Dr. Joseph Gianni from the resolution, is authorized to apply for any and all funding which in his judgment is appropriate for South Country Central School District for the 2022-2023 school year. Be it further resolved, the superintendent of schools report such application for funding to the Board of Education at the next regular meeting followed.
Mr.
Okay?
Barry's pointed out that the petty cash has Dr. Gianni's name also.
Okay, good point. Let's go back to that one.
Unless that needs to be under a person's name.
It does need to be under a purchase.
So then we probably just have to do it again.
Because
Or
the check goes to the.
That's what
Yeah.
that was what I was questioning.
Can you have two names?
Amend that next, you'll have to amend
Could
it.
2 names be
You just
done?
add 2 names? It doesn't matter, we could do it
It's
again,
probably
but
cleaner to do it again
Cleaner
at the
to
next
do.
meeting.
Okay.
Separate.
All right, so for the purpose of this resolution, the board is establishing petty cash funds for respective custodians of each of the funds for the 2022-23 school year, and it does involve a $100 allotment to central administration, Bellport High School principal, and then the principals in all the respective schools. Middle school, Frank B. Long, and all our 3 elementary schools, as well as the South Haven Early Education Center, and central administration for the superintendent. So council advises we should approve that motion as it's written, and then at the time the new superintendent is appointed, we'll make that resolution
Yes.
again. Okay, perfect. All right, so the only change that we are going to make is in item number 12C.
Sorry for the interruption.
No, no need to be sorry.
Just think, Mr. Santana, I won't spend any petty cash.
It's really easy.
Yeah,
Good
just
point.
amend it.
Couple
Just
weeks.
let's amend it to Mr. Santana. He's
Okay.
here, he's on board, the petty cash should go to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't have a party with that $100.
It's ruined my dreams.
Okay. All right, so then we will amend, District Clerk has that?
I just did it.
Okay, good. The District Clerk has already amended item 12, what was it, 12C?
12A,
12A is petty cash.
and also 12C, I took out Dr. Gianni's name.
Okay, great. All right, thanks for that notation, Trustee Puccini and Trustee Barry. All right, so then we're back to 12, and all the items in 12, which would be A through J, and it's reflected under 12K for the consent items. So need a motion and a second to approve.
Motion?
Motion by Vice President Hayes, seconded by Trustee Barry. And is any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you. Seeing all hands raised, the motion passes unanimously as amended. Now we're on to board policies, bylaws, rules, regulations, and code of conduct. This is under policy, code of conduct, and also project SAVE. Projects, item B is project SAVE district level plan. This is our safety plan, and then those 2 items are voted under the consent item C. I had questions about this item because there are so many pages to it. The board policy code of conduct is 75 pages alone. The project SAVE is 34 pages. And I know I didn't have time to read all of them. And I'm assuming that the new board hasn't had time to read them anyway. I'm asking, is there legal requirements that it has to be adopted tonight? Can we adopt it and have a workshop later to go through the documents? And also get input from the trustees as to what they'd like to see.
So many of your policies require annual renewal.
Okay.
Most of them don't. The way this is drafted, though, it would just continue your policies as is, and you still have the authority through your strategic planning committee process that you've adopted here to revise policies as you review them. The code of conduct, if you choose to review it in the future, would just require a public hearing.
Okay.
So there's no changes to this?
There's
Either
no
one of these.
changes to the documents, no. The progressive discipline, strategic planning added restorative justice practice to it. That was all.
Okay.
Other than that, everything is in its entirety. And I would just recommend to the board, if they choose not to do that tonight, our August mailing includes those documents.
Okay.
So it's probably better to do it tonight, amend it later.
Okay. So the board understands the policies can be amended at a later date, and also understand we can work to either have a workshop, a retreat, to go over the documents in their entirety to the pleasure of the board. Okay?
And to underline what you just said,
Which is?
that it also gives the opportunity for the incoming superintendent to go over it with us to see what items may need to be adjusted.
Point well taken? Yes. Okay. All right, so then we're up to voting for our policies. Item number 13 will be reflected in the agenda 13C for both the board policies, bylaws, rules, regulations, and code of conduct is one, and then Project Save district level plan. Motion and a second. Motion and a second, please. Motion by Vice President Hayes, seconded by Trustee Barry. Further discussion, I just wanted to make one comment and just ask Mr. Briggs. In that document, we have asked before, it does list prior administrative officials,
Yes.
prior trustees who were responsible for developing the plan.
The initial draft and development of the emergency response plan.
Okay.
So that was the first group.
I read, and most of that is contained on page 4 through 6. When I looked at the meetings that were noted of when it was implemented, it didn't seem to coincide with the names that were on that list.
Okay.
Can we just get a little clearer detail as the names that are there, when that actually happened for those people that are noted in the plan itself?
I can.
Okay?
All right.
All righty, thank you. All right, any other questions? We have a motion and a second. I forgot who the motion was. You have it?
Ann Hayes
Madam
and
Clerk?
Joseph N.
Thank you. Okay, no further discussion. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you. Seeing all hands raised, the motion passes unanimously. We are at the point where we are at the end of our reorganizational meeting. We have we had a previous meeting. We have 3 meetings tonight, but we're at the end of the second meeting. We have to adjourn this meeting, and then we will start our regular business meeting. However, there is an executive session before the regular business meeting, which, does Dr. Gianni have an estimate of how long it may take? He doesn't want to say that because some members.
I tend not to do that because it does not
It's
serve
never-
us well.
It's never,
I think we could be done in 30 minutes.
Okay.
Actually, probably 20.
okay.
It's one
He's
eye.
looking at you.
Do I hear time?
I think he's looking at all of us.
We can get the information out in 5.
Okay.
Agreed.
And how many notes can you name that to? All right, so we're at the end of the meeting. We need a motion to adjourn for the audience that's here. We will adjourn. You have to exit for 30 minutes, and then we'll call you back in. Motion to adjourn was by Trustee Trent. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Kavanaugh. All those in favor? Motion passes unanimously. We stand adjourned.